We'll begin with some of the most obvious weather hazards you'll encounter: ice and snow. According to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, snow, despite its dangers and how it keeps people off the road, still accounted for 1.5% of fatal crashes in 2020 for large trucks. The problem is that most people don't take this threat quite seriously enough. Even though the majority of the US lives in an area where snow does pose a threat at least some portion of the year, many drivers dismiss snow as a freak occurrence that's not worth worrying about. Well, according to the US Department of Transportation, even a little snow can have an impact. Snow and ice reduce pavement friction and vehicle maneuverability, causing slower speeds, reduced roadway capacity, and increased crash risk. Average arterial speeds decline by 30 to 40% on snowy and slushy pavement. Freeway speeds are reduced by 3 to 13% in light snow and by 5 to 40% in heavy snow. And that's not all. A little bit of snow can contribute a surprising amount of total weather-related vehicle crashes. Each year, 24% of weather-related vehicle crashes occur on snowy, slushy, or icy pavement, and 15% happen during snowfall or sleet. So why is snow such a problem? In 2 words, car skidding. Compacted snow or snow-covered ice can immediately reduce the traction of your tires against the road, which means you simply don't have the same control you typically do. This lack of traction makes it easier for a tire to slip if there's a bump or if you suddenly have to hit the brakes. And once you skid, you might run into other troubles, like overcompensating by turning the wheel too far and in the wrong direction. In many snow-impacted areas, it's not uncommon to see cars in ditches. It's simply too difficult to maintain control at anything like the typical speed. But there's another cold weather-related hazard you'll have to pay attention to. And this one can be insidious because it's so difficult to spot: black ice. According to the USDA, here's what you need to know about black ice. Black ice forms most commonly at night or early morning, whenever temperatures are at their lowest. Black ice can therefore be a major threat to morning commuters, though it's by no means limited to these early morning hours. Black ice tends to form on parts of the road without much exposure to sunshine. You should be wary around tree-lined routes, tunnels, and infrequently traveled roads specifically. And finally, black ice forms readily on bridges, overpasses, and the road beneath overpasses. That's because the cold air is able to cool both the top and under the bridge or overpass, bringing about faster freezing. Black ice can be especially dangerous because it's so hard to spot. So here's what you'll need to know for dealing with it. First, let's focus on our black ice tips. Slow down when you suspect black ice might be on the road. Look for smooth sheets. Glossy-looking roads are an indicator. If it's safe, you should practice driving on icy parking lots where there's minimal danger. That way you can learn what ABS braking feels like. But be careful and don't go crazy. Just take it easy. If you sense yourself losing control from black ice, don't panic. Keep your steering wheel straight and don't hit the brakes. Lift your foot off the accelerator because braking could cause you to skid. If you feel the back end of your car sliding left or right, make a very gentle turn of the steering wheel in the same direction. Struggling against it by steering in the opposite direction risks skidding or spinning out. With control, head for areas of traction, like textured ice, snow-covered areas, spots with sand. You get the idea. One of the key problems with black ice is that as soon as the driver feels themselves losing control of the car, they instantly panic. They swerve, they shift the steering wheel, and they slam on the brakes. But once you understand that you only have minimal control, and you familiarize yourself with the sensation of ice in a safe setting, you'll understand that the rules for driving change when you're skidding on ice. Keep calm, keep your wits about you, and look for an area where you can regain traction. Next, let's focus on tips for snow. As with black ice, the first steps of dealing with snow are preventative. You're going to increase your chances of getting through snow safely if you've adequately prepared your vehicle and yourself for dealing with it. Here are some key tips. First, prep for emergencies. When winter hits, keep an emergency kit in the car. everything you'd need for an extended stay out in a cold ditch if worse comes to worst. Include a blanket and road flares to call for help. Prep your tires. Winter tires can improve their grip on ice and snow. Third, you should reduce your speed. When the roads are full of snow, you have to reduce your speed. This will give you more control and it extends your reaction time if someone slips ahead of you. Then, you should increase your following distance. Extend your following distance to 5 to 6 seconds between you and the car ahead of you. And finally, know how to use your brakes. As with black ice, you'll want to avoid sudden braking. Gently pressing the brakes down will help prevent skidding.